Here's a list of things that you should be stockpiling before President Trump takes office again. I was reading an article in USA Today, and it was very interesting. So I'm going to be doing actually a couple of videos on this, but President Trump has said that he is going to put tariffs on stuff imported from China, which is 10%. And a tariff, for those of you who don't know, is just a tax or a fee on goods that are imported to another country. And the majority of the time there are tariffs is to encourage your country to start manufacturing these things instead of importing them, so you have jobs here in your country. Plus a few other reasons, like political reasons, war, countries are just being nasty to their people, you know, things like that. So there's a whole lot of reasons why tariffs might be implemented. But he is saying that he's going to put a 10% tariff on Chinese goods. So here's some of the things that USA Today suggested that you buy before January 20th. And I'm really curious as to what you think about this, all right? First of all, fish and crustaceans, meaning the fish you eat. Now, I'll tell you, I don't know about you, but I don't know that I want to be eating fish from China. It seems a little iffy and sketchy to me. So I don't know about that, but tell me what you think. I don't know. Fish from China, I don't know. They have no regulations. I would think they would have a lot of mercury and stuff like that in their waters from not having regulations with their plants. So I don't know. Am I being crazy on that? But I really wouldn't want to be eating fish from China anyway. Guys, I have a free gift for you. It is an almost $30 value. We are going to give you our Dining on a Dime cookbook ebook, volume number 1, free at livingonadime.com. Click on our shop, click on our ebooks, click on Dining on a Dime volume 1, add it to your cart. When you go to checkout, use the coupon code DINING1. And you will get our ebook absolutely free with no obligation and no strings attached. Go grab this while you can. Visit us at livingonadime.com. The next thing is vegetable fats and oils. Okay, I could maybe see that, but the U.S. could produce a lot of those things. We have a lot of farmland here. I would think that we would be able to produce those on our own, but I can see how we would import a lot of those right now. I don't know. What do you guys think on that one? That one I really wasn't sure about. Now this one, vegetables like corn and fruits and nuts. Okay, once again, I do not want to be eating corn and fruits or nuts from China. I mean, I know that I eat some food from China. I get that. But honestly, I try to eat food that is made here in the U.S. Now, I don't all the time, as you can see from what I have back here, but I just don't feel real comfortable because the regulations, I don't know, I guess if it's here in the U.S., the regulations are high enough that you're not going to get food poisoned or something, I guess, but I just don't feel real comfortable eating food from China. Now, the next thing is for foods is cereal, flour, starch, wheat, and milk products. Now, this is just ridiculous. First of all, the majority of the flour and flour products that we have here in the U.S. are made here in the U.S. We do not import a lot of flour. The majority of the U.S. flour is made here in the U.S. I did a whole video on this back, 2 years ago when Ukraine was being invaded by Russia and everybody was panicked that we weren't going to have flour. The majority of the flour in the U.S. is made here in the U.S. and we use our own flour. And then the next place we get our imports from for flour is Canada. Now, yes, he's talking about putting tariffs on Canadian goods also, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But really, I wouldn't even be worrying about flour at all. Flour products are mostly manufactured here in the U.S. that we use, so I think that's kind of dumb. Now, the same thing with milk products. First of all, the cereal, flour, starch, wheat, and milk products. The cereal is made here in the U.S. The starch and wheat products, those are all here in the U.S. And then milk products. Guys, the majority of our milk products are here in the U.S. They're produced here in the U.S. We do not ship milk from China for us to consume here in the United States. Now, maybe if it's canned, evaporated milk, sweetened condensed milk, it's very possible that could be made in China. But even with that, the United States is the #2 top exporter of sweetened condensed milk. So I would think we're making the majority of it and sending it elsewhere. I really wouldn't be worrying about milk products either. The next thing is coffee, teas, and spices. Okay, yeah, I could see those might go up in price. So I'm a huge tea drinker. My family likes coffee. I will probably be getting a year's worth of coffee and tea so that I have it on hand just in case the prices do go up. So that's not going to be a huge investment, but it will be some. The next thing is sugar. Okay, I could see maybe sugar going up a little bit, but guys, the United States gets 45% of its sugar from the sugar beets that are produced right here in the United States. I really don't see sugar going up in price, but all of this right here and right here is all sugar. I have a good stockpile. I might get a little bit more, but once again, I might get a year's worth of sugar on hand just to make sure I have it in case it goes up. Cocoa, yeah, we don't manufacture cocoa here in the we don't grow cocoa here in the United States. We manufacture it, but we don't grow it. So I could see cocoa going up in price. So I would probably, if you use a lot of cocoa, then I would probably stock up. Like I would probably go ahead and for me, you can see where right there, I have my Hershey's cocoa all stocked up. I actually found that before I decided to do this video and I was like, I'm stocking up for next year because it was on sale this year. Dairy products, eggs, honey, and edible dairy products. Okay, once again, that's just stupid. Most of the United States, we don't import our dairy or our eggs. Dairy and eggs are produced right here in the United States. I don't know who wrote this article for USA Today. Who wrote this article? Jonathan Limehouse. Jonathan needs to be doing some research on his articles because it's just ridiculous to say that dairy products and eggs are going to be going up because of tariffs on the products. Now, maybe they could be going up because of machinery or bottles or things like that. If they're manufactured outside the US, okay, that's very possible. Then the price could go up. But it really shouldn't go up a huge amount. I mean, 10% on a milk jug, probably most companies spend 10 to 15, maybe 20 cents for a milk jug. So that means it's going to go up 2 cents. Big whoop-de-ding. I mean, that's really not that big of a deal. Vinegar. I do not know where vinegar is produced. Let's just look it up here. Okay, according to what I researched, the Fleischmann's Vinegar Company is the biggest vinegar producer in the world. They are in Beloit, Wisconsin. I really wouldn't worry about vinegar either. I mean, that seems a little strange. Apple juice. Okay, I could see some apple juice being produced outside the US, but you can see, well, you can't see. Right down there, I have, hold on, boop, right down there. I have a whole bunch of apple juice, and I'm sitting here looking at this, and I see nothing about outside the United States. It says that it's distributed by a company in Illinois, but if I remember correctly, if it's made outside the US, it has to say on that, on the tag, and it does not say anywhere that this is made outside the US. So I really wouldn't worry about apple juice either. Now that I got myself looking, I'm kind of curious. So I got the off-brand corn checks, and I do not see anywhere that it says that this is produced outside the US either. Yeah, and I think they have to say if it's produced outside the US. I really wouldn't worry about grains and things in apple juice like that and stuff like that. Garlic. Now, Mike's going to be very sad to hear this, but most of the garlic in the US does come from China. So that might be a little disappointing because we do use a lot of garlic in our house. A lot. Mike loves garlic. But think about it. Right now, a little jar of garlic like this is $1. So I'm thinking If it's 10% on Chinese goods, then that's going to be $1.10 that it's going to go up. Okay, that's a little bit. I mean, I don't know that I would be that worried about it, but if you want to go ahead and stock up on fish and some vegetable fats and some coffee and tea and spices, cocoa, maybe your garlics, I would maybe go ahead and stock up on those. The thing is, guys, we really don't know what's going to happen on January 20th. And you just kind of have to stay stocked up and brace yourself. A lot of people get really upset when I say stockpile, make sure you have a stockpile, blah, blah, blah. I'm just fear-mongering. Listen, I don't just stockpile because I'm afraid. I stockpile because I have lived through being trapped by mudslides and not being able to get to the grocery store. I have been trapped by floods and not been able to get to the grocery store. I have lived in states where a town just 2 or 3 towns over was literally blown off the face of the earth. Greensburg, Kansas. Anybody remember that from about, what, 15, 20 years ago? Wow, has it been that long? Oh my, I can't believe it's been that long. Holy cow. Yeah, it was 2007. So 18 years ago. Oh my goodness. The town was literally wiped out. All of the farmers that used that town for their groceries had to drive even further to go get groceries then. That's why I have a stockpile. I live in Wyoming. In 2023, in the winter of 2023, in the winter of 2022 and 2023, the highways coming to my town, the highways in Wyoming were closed over 60 days, just between November and April, over 60 days. At any point in time, our highways could get closed and we could just be stuck here with no food. They say the average grocery store has 3 days worth of food. I don't know if I believe that or not, but 3 days worth of food and our town is toast. That's why we stockpile. Am I worried about prices going ridiculously high when Trump gets into office? No, not particularly, but I will tell you, we've lived through the last 4 years of Biden. It can get worse than that, but that was pretty bad. My groceries jumped 25% because of Biden. You know, you just roll with the flow. The thing is, I invest in this, and when I invested in this, I had a 25% return on my investment. Nobody can say they have a 25% return on their investment just for normal stocks, bonds, all of that kind of stuff. They won't say that. This is a great investment. You will just eat it later. Now, should you put this on your credit card if you don't have the cash to pay for it? No, that completely negates all the money savings, and then you're going into debt even more if you do that. Please don't do that. Is this a good investment? Yes, this is a darn tootin' good investment, and it's definitely worth it. All right, if you guys want more stockpile tips, please go watch this video next. Visit us at livingonadime.com. We'll see you guys next time.